Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Knessa coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 19th day of September in the year 2023. Sure hope you're enjoying your Tuesday, no matter where it is you are in the country. Beautiful, nice fall-like day here in the Northeast. Hope you're all able to enjoy the weather. It's always great this time of year when it turns a little crisper, isn't it? But as you do each and every Tuesday afternoon, you welcome me into your homes. Thank you for that. And before we get into that, I want to tell you a little bit about Handy Manny before we get into all the details of this week's news. Manny Ventoso has been operating this company for many years now, and I got to be honest with you, there have been times where I've needed work done in my house. And whether it's construction type work, clean out items, painting, you name it, the first place that I'm going to go when I need that work done is Manny, because not only is he fast, efficient, he is reliable, and he gets the job done at an extremely reasonable price. And that's why I'm hoping that you will join me and join Manny if you need some work done at your house, whether it's the house, the basement, the attic, or the yard, no matter what it is, he can get the work done. So just give Manny a call right now at your opportunity, really. 201-281-7975. That's 201-281-7975. And when you call Manny to get the work done in your house, let them know that the Observer sent you your way, and I know he will take care of you. But here's the one thing, too, you got to realize about Manny. He's very busy, so when you got to get work done, you got to give him advance notice. Like, you can't call today and think he's going to be there tomorrow. So make sure if you have a project that you may be putting off, that you let him know with enough notice so that he can get over there and do what you need to be done. So thank you, Manny, for sponsoring the program this week, and as you have for the last couple of weeks, and will for the next week as well. Now, before we get into the news this week, did anybody see the incredible rainbow that formed yesterday? It was unreal. I didn't see it, but Lisa sent this to me. This is from her picture that she took, and you can see it very clearly. What an incredible sight that was after, I guess, all the rain that we got over the last couple of days. And then Steve Kaplan, who lives over on Beach Street, sent us this too, and you can see it. It looks like a double rainbow there too. You see it in two different spots. But it was a really beautiful thing. And I guess a lot of people had posted this on their social media pages, but just in case you didn't see it, I wanted to show you these photos from Lisa and from Steven. And we want to thank Steve Kaplan, too, and Lisa, of course, for sending us these photos to share with you. But it was one of those great moments that you don't get to see too often. Beautiful, beautiful stuff in Kearney, and I'm sure it was in the surrounding towns as well because of the rain and the clearing. And Manny's with us here. So, Manny, thank you very, very much for this. And what a shot yesterday. What a scene. I hope you all got a chance to experience it. Now, before we get into the news of the week, I just want to let everybody know that we have finally gotten a date for the Observer's sponsored debate between the three mayoral candidates, and it will be October the 17th at 7 p.m. You don't have to do anything but send us questions. Please send questions to editorial@theobserver.com and indicate whether you want it to be known that you sent in your question so that we can gather as many as possible from the public to answer what you're thinking about. Because there'll be plenty of questions that we have as well, but the important feature of this is that residents get to ask as many questions as they can. And there is a little bit of an update to give if you haven't been on your social media pages at all in the last couple of days. All three candidates have agreed to participate in the debate. Originally, that was not the case. But now all three have agreed to take part in our debate. And I know very, very much that I'm looking forward to getting a chance to sit with the three people who are running. And the interim mayor, Peter Santana, Carol Jean Doyle, who is a councilwoman, and Sidney Ferreira, who is running as well. Peter is the official Democratic candidate, Sidney is the Republican candidate, and Carol Jean is running as an independent. But again, if you have things that you want answered, things that you don't know, or something that is on your mind, send questions to me at editorial@theobserver.com, and we will pick the best ones to be asked to the candidates on October 17th. It's a little less than a month away, so don't delay. Get that to us as quickly as you can. We start off today with a very intriguing police blotter item that Mike Antarchik sent us, and this one just kind of blew my mind. This woman was on Midland Avenue a week and a half ago, and it was right around the first day of school, and a school bus had stopped, and when the school bus stopped, they put the arm out. You've probably seen how there's a security or safety arm that comes out, and the red lights were engaged. When the red lights of a school bus are on and you are driving, you stop. It's not stop, look, then go. You stop until those lights are off. Well, one woman was in a little bit of a hurry, and she decided that she didn't need to stop, and she blew right through the red light and the safety arm that was engaged on the school bus. And when she was pulled over, because fortunately there was a police officer who was there and who witnessed this, it turns out that her driver's license was in fact suspended. So not only was she impatient, she wasn't supposed to be behind the wheel. So a great job out of the Kearney Police Department in getting her and nabbing her for this. But I mean, for God's sake, when you're driving and a school bus is active and the lights are on, the arrogance to pull right through and just blow right past it could have been catastrophic. Some people may look at this and say, this is not a big deal. I'm sorry, it's a very big deal. That's just not something you do. And when you have a suspended driver's license and do it, it makes it all the more dumb. Sidney Ferreira is with us, and he has left a comment. Hi, Kevin. I look forward to a spirited debate as well. I'm glad the interim mayor, Peter Santana, decided to join us after originally declining. Thanks again for working on this, Sid. It was my absolute pleasure to do so. There was some discussion that the mayor didn't decline and that he was only against the debate format, but originally he did indeed say no to our offer. So there's a little bit of a debate as to the semantics of language, but when you say no, you say no. It means no, not no under another format, because there was no time where we discussed it or were thinking of changing the format. So no means no generally, but I don't know. What do I know? Number 2 story of the week. This one comes to us from Marty and Marty Nystrom, and I want to tell you, this was one of the more enjoyable things that I have ever had a chance to speak with. I'd known Marty for a long time, and I know on September 11th, 2001, he was at the pit for several days as an EMT for Maplewood, and for many, many years he worked at the one of the museums that has since closed at Ground Zero on 9/11, and unfortunately, he's fortunately, I should say, he is lucky that he didn't get very sick, as many of his friends have. But Marty has always spoken in Kearney, especially at the high school, about his experiences of 9/11 and things of that nature. But he was recently invited to speak at the official Wisconsin 9/11 memorial in Kewaskum, and it was extraordinary. He gave a rousing speech, and he was invited there by the father of a young woman who, at age 25, died in the North Tower of the World Trade Center, September 11th, 2001. This young lady was on her very first ever business trip. It was delayed several days because of weather. You may even remember on September 10th, 2001, the weather here in New Jersey was horrendous, and it was extremely rainy day. So her trip got delayed, and wouldn't you know, she was just a few floors below the impact zone on the North Tower on 9/11. And this man has been dedicated to making sure that there was a proper memorial in Wisconsin, and it took 21 years for them to get it, 20 years for them to get it, which is just mind-boggling when you think about it. But they invited Marty out to Wisconsin. He almost didn't make it. They canceled his original flight, but he did in fact make it, and then he wound up speaking to some high school kids and some middle schoolers. So I hope you will take an opportunity to read this, and we thank Marty Nystrom for sharing this incredible story with us and for always being such a wonderful person when it comes to dealing with September the 11th. And I want to just, Scott was asking if it was going to be live or on Zoom. Just as this broadcast is live, it will be the same thing for the debate on the 17th of October. What will happen is, in fact, let me show you what the screen will look like on debate night. This is not the final format of what it's going to look like, but this is what it will look like, generally speaking, on the 17th of October. This is in no particular order, and we'll decide eventually how we're going to pick the order of how they appear on the screen and who gets to get the first question and the first opening statement. But you'll see here. And this will be broadcast on numerous platforms, Scott, including Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter. It will also be on Twitch, Kick, and a few other live broadcasting platforms. We will put out links and embeds into the Observer.com. It'll be plastered all over the place. It will be impossible not to be able to find this broadcast, but it will be on so many different platforms. And one of the things is, some people may not be computer literate. For anybody who's not computer literate, I certainly hope that maybe once the broadcast is over, because it will be live, that people will bring the podcasted version, which everything will live forever once the actual debate is over. It'll still be available online, so we're hoping that people will bring it to people who wouldn't make it because they're not able to travel or because they don't know much about social media or getting on the web. So maybe this is an opportunity for people to reach out to their elderly neighbors and bring a laptop over and show them what happened in the debate. So that's how the format will be, and it really will be very, very easy for everybody to see it. Sydney, in his chat, said it'll be available via Zoom. Zoom is one of the few it won't be, believe it or not, because it's going to be broadcast everywhere. So with Zoom, you need a link and all that other stuff, and sometimes you need to put a sign-in and a password. But it's a Zoom-type format, if anything. So just want that to be very clear to everybody. So thank you very much, Sydney, for answering the question to Scott. And I just wanted to clarify that just a little bit. But you see what that format looks like. Everybody will be seen on the screen at the same time. At no point, let me just go back to this real quick, just in case there's any question. I don't know if you can see where it says guess 1, 2, or 3 on your screen, but that's what we see. The live video will show right there. So at no point will anybody's face be off the screen. You'll be able to see people's reactions. So say somebody rolls their eyes, we're going to see it. So just remind that to I want to remind that to all the candidates. So you kind of have to be on your best when all of this is happening and going down on the 17th of next month. Now, the final story this week that we want to get to just briefly is the signs. Suspect terrorism, contact New Jersey Homeland Security. They just started popping up right after Labor Day. And they're all on highways. Route 3, Lisa saw one on Route 23 that you can see right here on the this copy of the e-edition that's up on the screen. And if you've been around the area, you probably bumped into one of these signs. So Lisa was driving around and she's like, what the hell is this all about? Where are all these signs coming from? And the New Jersey Department of Homeland Security, with DOT and a few other state agencies, were supposed to have made a big deal about this program and letting people know all about it. So far, I have spoken with a handful of local police departments, and none of them ever got word that this program was going on. But it is the whole concept of, and it was in relation to 9/11's anniversary happening last week, that people are more cognizant that terrorism could be anybody. So if you see something, they want people to say something. Now, is there more to this? More than likely, yes, but I don't think they're ever going to admit to that there's probably something a little bit more than just the anniversary coming up. But it's something that people should always keep in mind, that there's always something happening behind the scenes that the government will not tell us about necessarily, whether it's for fear of causing a wide-scale panic or something like that. But if you see the signs, they are sponsored by New Jersey Department of Homeland Security with DOT. And it's a very serious issue. Like, if you see something that looks out of place, you should always open your mouth and not presume somebody else is going to do it. All right? I mean, and Lord knows we live close enough, just a handful of miles outside of Midtown Manhattan, that God forbid something could happen right in our neck of the woods. So keep that in mind, but at least you know now why the signs are there. But unfortunately, they did a horrible marketing job with this because, as I said, having spoken with several police departments, none of them were told about it. And because they were never able to disseminate that information down to the rank and file police officers. And that was supposed to happen, but it clearly did not. It is 46 minutes past the hour. Kevin Knessa here with you on this edition of the Observer Live, and that is going to do it for this broadcast. I want to thank Scott Marshman, Sidney Ferreira, Manny Ventoso, and anybody who else is watching this broadcast today for joining me. Don't forget, we have a whole bunch of classifieds in this week's paper too, so if you're looking for a place to live or if you're looking for a job, some services offered, do check those out. And don't forget to give Manny Ventoso a call if you need work done in your house. We will be back 1 week from today with another edition of the Observer Live, and we have in the meantime a few other interviews that are in the works with some other candidates running for other offices, so I'm hoping we'll be able to bring those to you shortly. And also, if you haven't seen it yet, last week I had an opportunity to have an interview and a sit-down with John Fabula of the Kearney Police Department to talk about scams. Just scroll down here a little bit and you will find it. It is something that everybody should see, especially the elderly. From the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com, Kevin Knessa signing off for now, and we hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, everybody. Bye-bye.